So welcome everyone to today's Meetup session. It's a special Meetup session today because we have two, like Ideathon just now and then the introduction to Alchemix by our guest, Scoopy, right here. Yep. So let's get started. So this is the agenda for today. So the first part will be the monthly announcements, and then we'll move on to Cincai giveaway and also some sharings. After that, we're going to move on to the main topic session, which is introduction to Alchemix, some Q&A, and then lepak and makan. And also, FYI, we are also buying some cups that will be here very, very soon, so that you guys can have some drinks later. I don't think the pizza will be there. Okay, so just a quick reminder of today's session is that no photos, please. We don't want Scoopy to dress up and then hide his face and everything, right? Okay. Oh yeah, so a few announcements. This one I think is kind of like the final call of ETH Global Singapore, happening 20th of September. And I think this is a continuation of what we spoke last month, which is there's a special perks for Malaysian builders. The list is as written above: discounted tickets, free accommodation, round trip, and also fast track applicant review, and 50% staking discount. So if any of you are interested, you can try to access this link and then sign up for that. I give you guys 3 more seconds. 1, 2, 3. Okay, next up. Oh, right. Some updates from the ETH KL. That's happening, once again, a reminder, 4th until 6th of October. So right now we are having like 50 speakers and more that I heard, and hackers are coming in hot. Currently they are in the whitelisting review process. And so lastly, just a reminder to follow our socials. So if you go down here, speakers, right? Oh, look who we have on the first slide. Yeah. So yeah. So this is kind of like the virtual session by Vitalik himself, and you can see most of the speakers are updated. We have renowned people like Matthew, TM, and yeah, the list goes on. I think we have until 50 and more. Yeah, so if you're interested, head over to this page and see. You might see your favorite speaker appearing up there. Yep. Okay. Moving on. Huh? The link is ETH 2024 ETHKL.org. Yeah. All right. If you have any questions, if you want the links, I think it's available on our socials as well. Might as well go and follow. Right. And also, give me a second. Yep, and also this is one thing that's currently planning by myself. You can quote me on this. It's we are going to have a sort of a volunteer / contributor grant, and on the application itself, we plan to have a series of selections. It could be for monthly meetups, it could be for DEF CON, it could be for workshops, and we're going to have some sort of a credit system, also a proof of work type of application. And the things that we are currently planning right now, that includes paid workshops, contribute to monthly meetups. Also one idea that we have is kind of reimburse tickets to DEF CON, or reimburse stay, plane, etc. And also probably in exchange of handling, because this is FYI, we're going to have a booth in DEF CON, and we definitely need people to run it. So it's kind of an open application for those who see fit, who want to contribute to sign up this, right? So we will put up the application process maybe tomorrow if I can manage to fulfill it. And right now, if you have any questions, because I see there are people who are interested as well, some universities, reach out to me, get my contact, then we can discuss from there, right? Oh, and also to some, I think this might be the reason that you are waiting. This one is called the Cincai giveaway. It's not Cincai, definitely. And we're going to give out the 3 winners, which I will announce on the next slide. Right, congratulations to Team 42KL, Monash Blockchain Club, and Team Unit 10. And the prize will be right there. So I would like for all the winners to come up stage to have a group photo. Yep, let's do it very, very quickly. Can you guys look at the camera? Yeah. After you guys, we're gonna take another photo of entire group since most of us are up there. So after this photo, everyone can hop up. Yeah. Okay. Okay, you guys maintain on top. Huh? Afterwards. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, we burned his prize.
Okay, thanks everyone. Yep, so next, RH is going to share something to us right now.
Awesome. Do I use this?
Yeah.
Both of us together?
Yeah.
Cool. I always love being on stage, you can tell. All right, so just a quick one. For those of you who do not know me, my name is RH, and fun fact, I look exactly like my PFP. So I actually came up here to share two announcements just to get like community interest. Just wanted to gauge and see if anyone is interested for like what's up and coming, scroll together with ETH KL. And the first thing actually we see here with along with the beautiful popcorn is that the Vitalik and Ethereum story will be premiering globally on September 18th. And we are hoping to activate this film probably at like a hacker house. But we know that ETH Singapore and also ETH KL is happening at the same time. And right now it's like ETH Global Singapore first, and then most individuals would probably be at Singapore. So we wanted to gauge the community and see if anyone would be interested in attending this event. So show of hands, like who would be interested? Awesome. But I thought you were at Singapore, bro. That's good, right? So I think Harry briefly mentioned that there will be a 20 limit participant at the Hacker House, so I think that's a great start. Essentially, here Scroll would be more than happy to support in terms of like budget needs, and then all we need is just like a community to activate it so that it doesn't go through like a corporate screening fee, which is very, very expensive. And we do not know why corporate screening fee is only localized to one region. That's anyways a rant for another day. So great. So I'm happy to see that there are a lot of community interest there. This is definitely something that we are going to look forward to activate. And since it's September 18th, it's probably just 6 days away from now. It is 6 days away from now. So just put this on your radar first. We're going to work hard to make this happen. That's one. Second thing, there is a mini hack plan. So I couldn't reveal too much information here. I think this is where zero knowledge proofs are very, very helpful, but we don't have that. But anyways, not yet. And for the mini hack, Scroll is actually collaborating with an exciting partner. So this is still like under wraps. And the idea is that we wanted to use a mini hack, probably at the Hacker House space or maybe it's like somewhere with a larger venue. We could do a small hack leading up to ETHKL. So you would all have more experience building leading up to ETHKL Hackathon. So also wanted to gauge community interest since the mini hack will very likely be sandwiched between ETH Global Singapore and ETHKL. How many of you would be interested in participating in this mini hack? Show of hands. Nice, 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 there we go. Okay, I see like 1 team, 2 team. Okay, good. We'll love to see all of you there. It's going to be separate from ETHKL. It will have its own bounty. And what I love more is that Level Up itself will be doing like exclusive swag. I think that's always like a better sell, like even cooler swag than what is already shown in like booth for different conferences, like killer swag. Anyways, so those are some of those things that we are looking at, still planning. Also wanted to gauge community interest. So I'm seeing a yes and yes. And that's all for my pitch. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Arich. So right now, we're going to head over to Scoopy's session. Just another reminder that no photo space. So let's welcome Scoopy to the stage.
So this is a mic here?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So, all right. So hello, everyone. Thanks for coming here tonight. So today I'd just like to...
You can fit it to your t-shirt.
Oh.
Yeah. I'll do it.
All right, can. Okay. So today I'd just like to introduce you to Alchemix. It's a DeFi protocol that specializes in getting your future yield up front and also giving you a self-repaying loan. So let's go. So what is Alchemix? Well, first, it allows you to instantly access loans that represent your collateral's future yield. Right? The original idea we had was back in DeFi summer, which is, well, 4 years ago now, there were like yield protocols coming up, with Yearn probably being the most salient example. And at the time, like when we were kind of brainstorming ideas, like me and my friends who co-founded Alchemix, there's like DAI was getting like 80% APR. ETH was getting like 40%, and like USDC was getting 20%. And I remember I reached out to Karanye? I forget his first name right now. I'm blanking. Yeah. Andre Kranye, and he's like, I was talking to him, I was kind of pitching him the idea and trying to get some feedback from him. And I was like, well, we're kind of thinking about DAI or USDC, but the yields are much better on DAI. And he's like, yeah, I know, 20% is crap, when he was talking about USDC. So I was like, yeah, so we had to do something with this yield. And so we iterated on some different ideas. The first one we had was this sort of like, it was an app called CheeseFi, where the idea was that you deposit in for a certain amount of days, then you get minted this token, and then the yield buys back the token from AMMs. And that was sort of like where we began with, and we thought that was one way to tokenize your future yield. And then as we were talking to more people and we brought on more devs, they're like, why don't we just make a stable coin? And so, you know, that's what led to Alchemix. So basically it's a synthetic issuance platform, okay? So over time, the deposit is earning yield in yield strategies, and then that pays off your debt from your loan over time. And that allows it to be a self-repaying loan protocol. And the kicker is that they're also interest-free and they're non-liquidating. So you can just put your money in Alchemix, forget about it, you can borrow some, forget about it, and come back however many months or years later, and your debt will be much lower than it was when you first originated your loan. Go ahead. So some of the benefits of using Alchemix is that you get to maximize your assets. So basically you get to maintain your exposure to your yield-bearing collateral the entire time. Okay, so essentially what you can do is you can spend your future yield while also keeping your savings at the same time. So it gives you that line of credit. credit. There's lots of different collaterals on Alchemix. For stablecoins, we support DAI, USDT, USDC, and Frax now. And for ETH, we have plain ETH, but also some of the LSTs. So including Lido staked ETH, Rocket Pool RETH, and Frax ETH as well. So that's our our collateral lineup. Like I said earlier, there's no forced liquidations, so it's a very cozy protocol. Once you get in, you don't have to worry about managing your collateral ratio. You don't have to worry about getting liquidated when ETH crashes or anything like that. You can just park your money in there and then just, not have to worry about any problems or you're, getting liquidated. And so I think that makes it very friendly for people who are not plugged into Web3 every single day, for the non-degen crowd. Again, like I said earlier, there's no interest, so the only fees that we really charge is we take a 10% cut of the earned yield, and then that keeps the lights on in the company or in the protocol. So you guys basically get to keep the predominant amount of your yield. You don't have to pay interest on your debt. Your debt goes down over time automatically, and yeah, the system does that for you. So it's nice in that. And the one cool thing about this compared to other yield protocols that are out there and things like that do things with yield is that you are not locked in. You can always repay your debt and get your collateral back at any time. So you're not locked in, and you can even liquidate yourself using your collateral. You can pay off your debt using your collateral. So if you need that liquidity anytime, you can get access to it. We don't lock you in. Okay. Next slide. Okay, so now we're going to get a little bit more technical. At this point, if you have any questions or things are not clear, you can raise your hand, and I'm happy to clarify anything for you. Okay, so step one is that you deposit one of our accepted collateral underlying assets. So like I said earlier, the different stable coins and the different versions of ETH and the LSTs that you can deposit into it. Our current strategies involve Yearn, Aave, Vesper, Lido ETH, Rocket Pool, Frax ETH, and we have more coming soon, TM. There's a lot of them that are in the works right now, but our team is also simultaneously developing our next version of Alchemix. So sometimes the progress does not happen linearly with some of this stuff. We have a few things waiting review and audit before we can launch them. So yeah, first you deposit, and then once you deposit one of these assets, you select the strategy for them. And then essentially what the protocol does is it marks to market how much you put in. So let's say you put in 100 DAI. It'll treat one DAI as $1, and it'll say your deposit is $100, and that is your basis. And the system will record that mark to market value. And anytime that your collateral goes up in value because it's earning yield, the system will then say, okay, I can now harvest, maybe $2 or $3 from that original 100 that was put in here. And then use that to then pay off any debt that you have. And if you don't have any debt, it'll still take that, but then give you a credit that you can then mint with a debt-free later on. Okay, yeah, next one. So once you're in, you have your deposit in there, you can borrow up to 50% of what you put in. So if you put in 100, you can borrow 50. That's ETH or stable coins, and then you can borrow that in the form of a synthetic that tracks what you deposited. So if you put in a stable coin, you can borrow a synthetic stable coin, ALUSD. And if you put in ETH, you can borrow a synthetic ETH, which is ALETH. And then what you can do with them immediately is you can convert them to another currency through markets, which are supported by Alchemix, Curve, Velodrome, Ramses, amongst others. And then you can essentially realize that future yield immediately with the loan. So if you have extra savings, what you could do with it is essentially, put your savings money into DeFi, earn yield on Alchemix, then take some out and use it for spending for whatever you want to spend it on while your principal is still earning yield. So you can save and spend at the same time. So next slide. And so I talked about this, how it tracks the user deposits, it marks the market, and then when it detects that there's been a profit been made on your yield tokens, the yield strategies, then it harvests that yield and pays off debt. Okay, and then that goes into a redemption module that we call the transmuter. And I'll talk about that more in the next slide. But these harvests, they repay your debt over time. And like I said earlier, I'm kind of repeating myself because of these slides. But yeah, if let's say you put in money in Alchemix, but you don't mint any debt, it'll just give you credits that you can mint any other time later. Okay, and the last one of how it works. And the last part of the puzzle is our redemption module, which we call the transmuter, which fits in with the alchemy theme that we have. And so basically all of these debt repayments that are happening in an automated fashion, they then get fed into this transmuter contract, which is a redemption module. So you can put in ALUSD into the DAI transmuter, the USDC, Tether, Frax one, and then you can, this will convert them one-to-one to the underlying asset over time. So you put in ALUSD into one of these, and later on, it will become DAI or USDT or USDC and Frax. And what determines this rate is how much yield is getting paid out to the protocol from these yield tokens. So in the high yield environment, these payments will be faster, and in a low yield environment, these will be slower because there are some constraints to the flow of funds going into it. And there's one other source that can go into the transmuter is when somebody self-liquidates, they use their collateral to pay off their loan, that will also go into there and offer sort of like a faster windfall going into the transmuter. And this actually can be a yield opportunity for people in, in Web3 because they can buy ALUSD or ALETH off the market at a discount because it's kind of loosely pegged synths, okay? And so let's say ALUSD is 98 cents, right? Instead of $1, you could buy it on a discount, then put it in the transmuter and have that being converted over to an asset that is more strongly pegged, in effect getting an arbitrage and earning yield on it that way. And yeah, I don't know if you can see that, but that's 10% APR on ETH on mainnet right now. So that is a good, that's alpha. So even if you are an LP or something like that and you find that there's some impermanent loss, you can always then withdraw from your LP position and put the USD or ALETH synth in our transmuters in order to make back that impermanent loss that you might have suffered. So it does offer different avenues. So going back to the use cases, yeah, there's save and spend. So you take out a loan, you convert it to your local currency, and you can use it to spend on whatever you want. We've heard stories of people buying boats, houses, medical bills, college, and you could even get yourself a new PlayStation 5 with it. It doesn't really matter. But you can use this Web3 primitive for things in real life, which I think is cool. And then if you're a crypto speculator, there are use cases that open up too. So you can long crypto assets by selling ALUSD maybe for ETH or Solana or your favorite DeFi token or meme coin that you like in hopes that it makes gains versus the US dollars. And that is a way you can profit from it. And likewise, you can short ETH by then selling ALETH for a stable coin. If you think that ETH is topped, right, it's hit $10,000 a year from now, fingers crossed. You sell it then, and you can realize that. And then, if you want to pay off your debt at a later time, you can buy it when ETH is much cheaper with those profits, and then pay off your loan and get out of the system. So, and what makes this one kind of appealing is that it's risk reduced, right? So at most, you're only going to ever lose 50%. From that. You'll always have that collateral still there earning yield for you. And if you're patient enough, you won't lose anything because your debt will get paid off over time. And then yield farming, that got a little cut off on the bottom here compared to my computer. But basically, yeah, you can earn extra yield by looping. So you could, like, if you're an AlUSD, you could sell AlUSD for more DAI or another stable coin and then put that into Alchemix again and then earn more yield because you have more of a collateral base. And you can do that. You can loop a number of times. So that's one strategy. And then the other one is you can LP on various AMMs, such as Curve, Velodrome, Ramses, and I think there's Uniswap pools as well. And then the other one is arbitraging via the transmitter redemption module by buying off cheaper assets, the synthetics when they're cheaper on the market. You can buy those and arbitrage them through the transmitter. So those are your yield opportunities in using Alchemix. Now, like all DeFi protocols, right, there are smart contract risks that are unknown bugs out there that might, lead to losses. For example, the Curve hack that happened last year affected one of our LP pools. And it was a pool that was live for almost 3 years. And then safe that whole time, and then somebody found a bug in the compiler for Vyper that allowed for re-entrancy and allowed a hacker to drain the contract. Luckily, we were able to mitigate this a little bit before he hit us because it was hitting some other pools first. And then we had the most intense game of high-stakes poker or 4D chess or whatever you want to call it in order to get the funds back from that hacker. And I can tell you a little bit more about that later. Alchemix, we audit all of our code, sometimes several times. And in addition to that, we have an active bug bounty on Immunify. So if there's any white hat hackers in the room, you can go onto Immunify and collect bounties if you find anything wrong with our contracts. And I think the max payout for critical is $100,000. So. But yeah, we do take things very seriously as far as security goes for Alchemix. We have kind of avoided more risky and degenerate strategies and assets adding to them because we think it's our biggest responsibility to safeguard user funds. That's the most precious thing. And even though one of the AMMs that we were in got hacked, Alchemix has had a safe track record since launch. We haven't had any user funds being lost since we launched. But even then, it's DeFi tools are not toys, so yes, use at your own risk. So right now, we have a promotion for people to actually try Alchemix out, and there's going to be some extra rewards on our Arbitrum deployment. We're partnering with Layer 3 right now. So you can get started by visiting the Layer 3 website for the Alchemix campaign. There's a QR code you can take a snap of to get started there. And as a part of it, you'll have to join our Discord, and there's an invite link there. You can also find that on our Twitter as well, which has a lot of instructions for this quest pinned at this moment. The quest just involves making a deposit and then taking out a loan and then having that loan be live, I think, just for like 5 days. And once you've completed that process, then you qualify for the quest rewards. And I think there's around $12,000 in rewards total for this promotion. So I implore you guys also, this is on Arbitrum, and we're also a recipient of an Arbitrum grant, and that is meaning that we have boosted yields on Arbitrum. So I think ETH is making something like 20%, and USDC is I think 10 to 15% last time I checked. So pretty good yields for depositing into Alchemix on Arbitrum, in addition to the Layer 3 promotion to get started. And our Discord is amazing staff that is always there to help you if you ever have any problems. They're very welcoming. It's not a toxic place at all, so you can ask questions that you think that, other people might think they're dumb and they might yell at you, but no, they will be answered nicely. You'll be treated with respect there. It's a very welcoming community. So yeah, I ask that you guys check it out, So thank you.